Hi guys and welcome back. So today we're in Donabate, just outside Dublin, and that's St Patrick's Church of Ireland church behind us. And we've some, a very interesting mausoleum directly behind it. So we're going to take a wander around. So St Patrick's Church, like other churches, is centuries old, but built on a site that is even more ancient. The first stone church was built here in the 13th century on a foundation that was even older. The only remnant of that first stone church and the monastic community buildings that once existed around it is the square tower, which served as the monastic community watchtower and belfry. Now the church is closed, but it seems to be attached to a castle, which I will show you that as well in a second when we get around there. Look at this beautiful headstone here. I think we'll have to, the funny thing about this is you have to go right around the side here to access the back of the church. Looks like Jane Brine, who died the 21st of May 1908. It looks like aged 80. That's a beautiful headstone. And this is obviously the plot for the Brine family. We have John William just there. So this stone and burying place belongs to James Kelly. Uh, 1768, just there, aged 88. So an old stone there. And just take a look at the church. It's really beautiful. We have in loving memory of a much loved wife and mother, Suzette Nancy Maxwell Nee Jeffers, Cardiff House, born the 12th of October 1920, and she passed away September 1989, and of her beloved husband Henry Maxwell as well, and he passed away in 1996. That says 1784 there. Here lieth the body of Robert Nugent, it looks like, of the city of Dublin. Grocer, wow. Died September the 16th, 1784, aged just 35. So Robert was a grocer by trade. I love that when they put their employment on the actual stone. Wow, look at those rails. You can see the tree has grown right around the headstone, erected by Daniel Boyd, in memory of his beloved children, Catherine. I can't really get in because the tree is in my way. Age 22, 1838 it looks like. Then there's John Boyd, age 17, July 1858 I believe. So they're Daniel Boyd's children. Wow, very young. So this is kind of in an area, it's quite built up around the church itself. Here lieth, very hard to read that, December. Is it December? I don't know what the date is though. Very hard to read, that one. It's definitely here light. We've a little design there of the Sacred Heart. The body of Walter, looks like, or something. Who? And then December. The date might show up in edit. Kind of looks like 1717 maybe. Not quite sure. So as I said, we're surrounded by like a housing estate. This stone was erected by Brigit Maguire in memory of her husband Charles of Donabate, who departed this life February 18th, 1786, aged 36, also of her children and his father. Wow. So let's try and get back down onto the path. You see the path kind of goes right around, and it's surrounded then by this wall. So this is the back of the church, and you can see like this castle is attached to it, and then you can already see those beautiful green rails there and a huge cross above them. Oh, look at that. It's almost like it's completely covered like in a moss or an algae. Look at this. And I wonder, is that an original door maybe? It's locked up tight. This is the beautiful cross that is over this vault. I'm not sure we'll be able to read it. It does say sacred to the memory of. It says born July 3rd, 1838, and then died, but it's just too hard to read, isn't it?
James Henry.
Comrade, is it? C-O-M?
James Henry.
Comrade. And then there's another name after that.
1888.
That's when he was born. And then died.
He died in 1890, is it?
I don't know.
1890 something.
Wow, but it's a beautiful cross. Absolutely gorgeous cross. So this is actually the Cobbe family vault, and they are actually responsible for a nearby Newbridge House, and they were actually the principal benefactors of this church. The Cobbe family used the tower attached to the northeast end of the church as their private crypt. Although some of the more recent family members to pass away are buried in the churchyard. When the church was extended in the 18th century, the Cobbes had their own private pew constructed in the gallery at the west end of the church, and had the gallery ceiling lavishly decorated in plasterwork by the same Italian craftspeople who designed the elaborate ceilings of their Newbridge House. The Cobbes gallery had their own fireplace, comfortable seats, and in contrast to the wooden benches that the ordinary parishioners used, the Cobbes allegedly used to have their servants provide them with refreshments during long sermons. Wow, just look at that. A beautiful vault. You can see the arch, in the ceiling there. We have two coffins in great condition considering their age. They're probably over 100 years old. We weren't really able to read that cross above it, but look at the detail on them. You can see the handles have studs in all around the panel, and they actually look like leather to me. We have some more room on the shelves there, but at this stage I don't think anyone else will be going into this vault with them. They have a crest even over the door. That would be the family crest. So very, very interesting, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And the photos online is what kind of attracted us to this amazing vault or mausoleum for sure. And that I do think that the rails actually were green at one stage, and now they are actually covered in a moss as well. But it's just stunning. Look at the top of the church there. It's almost like an urn on top of it, and then it's attached to this like a castle. So really cool there. Hanrel Frederick Smith nie van Wittausch, aged just 22, of Corballis House, Donabate, 1939.
Oh, that lovely holly tree.
The holly has completely just covered it. So when, you know, he would have been buried, it was probably just a tiny little shrub. One there completely covered in, I know the name of this. This is, I bet you'll get it wrong. I think it's cotton Easter it's called. Beautiful red berries, and of course the birds will be feeding off that. But look at that. Wow. All the bars on the windows. You just never know what you'll find. I see William Smith here of Blackhall, County Meath, 1946, age 78, and his wife Ada MacSimon, 1955. So the cemetery is kind of it's kind of strangely laid out, because there is houses, as I said, right around.
Careful, there's a nest of wasps.
Nest of wasps? Is there? Oh yeah, I see them all now. I don't kind of mind the wasps as long as I don't disturb them. I can see them all flying around there. Wow. This is John Thomas McAllister, 1941, and his beloved wife Sarah Jane McAllister, 1943. Also their children, John Ritchie and Esther Mary, who died in infancy. Their youngest daughter Elizabeth May, 1978, and their elder son James William, 1980. Their eldest daughter Sarah Jane, 1988. Also Evelyn, wife of James, and Eleanor, all listed there. It's quite a big grave, so they are possibly all buried in that plot. So as I said, Church of Ireland. This is Reverend R. Booth, 20 years vicar of Donabate. Died only aged 56 in 1894. William Cecil Bright, Balcarrick, born 1890, died November 1969, and his beloved wife Lucinda Isabella Bright, B.A., née Bell. She passed away in May 1990. And beside William Bright, we have William Herbert Johnston, born the 30th of April 1911 and died April 1985, and his beloved wife Margaret Peggy Johnston, née Keys, died 1998. The Lord is my shepherd wrote underneath it there. This one has caught my eye. You can see the angels on either side, part worn there. Thomas Tyrrell, it looks like. Burns, sorry. No, Tyrrell it is. Who for more than half a century was gardener at Newbridge. His unremitted zeal, his active industry, his sober habits, and his inflexible honesty made him valued and highly esteemed by his master while he lived, and deeply regretted when he died. He departed this life 1828, aged 84. Wow, isn't that lovely? Thomas Tyrrell Gardner at Newbridge House. Wow. That is beautiful, isn't it?
Lovely. Lovely inscription.
See, this is the history that we love.
Words.
You know, that it's wrote there on the headstone. We've another one here that's similar. Here lieth the body of Mary Malone, who died the 28th of January 1830, aged 65. The stone was erected by Charles Colbert, Esquire, of Newbridge, to testify his regard for one of whose zeal and fidelity were displayed in his service for a period of 20 years. Wow. And a similar headstone. So both of these people worked at Newbridge House. That is amazing, isn't it? Wow. Try and get around without walking on headstones. We have Ernest Thomas Lee here, and we have Ruby Lee. Ruby died when she was just 16 in 1953, and her infant nephew, born and died the 22nd of October 1980. And then Ernest, our darling child Ernest Thomas Lee, 1938, aged just 6. Jesus called a little child unto him. Also Colin Ernest Lee, 1920, aged 23. Also Cecil Bertie Lee, father of Ernest, 1959, aged 57. And Jane E. Lee McGovern, August 1995, aged 89. And a beautifully kept little plot there for them. Wow, I love that they've wrote all that about the gardener at Newbridge House. Such beautiful words there for him. Right, so guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell, most important as well, and that will let you know when I upload or when we go live. But for now, take care guys, God bless, and I'll talk to you all soon.